coronavirus as the Oxford...
But there's so much noise drowning out the news. Talking heads, broadcast messages, press releases. They're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. And that's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in. 500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000 of you. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, all to going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day, we had 96 new COVID confirmations yesterday. That's about half of last week Thursday's number. And if you remember, I told you that last Thursday's number was half of the previous Thursday's number. So that means that COVID numbers have dropped by 75% in the last 2 weeks. That's very good news. And that's a sign that perhaps the second wave is over. But still, you have 96 people who have COVID, though. And for those 96 people, it doesn't matter that the number is so low, right? And of course, these are 96 that are agreed to get tested. We don't know the number of other people who have not been tested. I don't want you to be the next 96 to test positive. So, Biko, limit your movement. Wear a mask whenever you are out and about, when you're around people. Make sure you give gap. Make sure you keep your distance. Wash your hands. Sanitize your hands as often as possible. Second hard fact of the day, 74,541 people have received their first dose of the COVID vaccine. And as you know, I'm one of them. Yay. If you're watching us on Facebook at the moment, you're seeing footage of me getting vaccinated. I got vaccinated earlier this week. Like I said, Vico, don't laugh. It didn't hurt. It was over very quick. I had some side effects, but they were very minor. And now all the side effects are gone. And as you can hear, I'm doing just fine. I'm not bleating like a goat while trying to work or anything. And I can promise you that I don't have 5G coming out of my body. I mean, if I had 5G, I wouldn't be worried about like internet in the studio or internet in my house. Like, I'll be actually very grateful. And I definitely do not have a chip in my body. If you're worried about chips, what you should be worried about is your phone and your SIM card. Those are definitely chips. But there's none that is in my bloodstream at the moment. Again, Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. You see me getting vaccinated right there on our live stream. Now, for people who are in Etiosa, it looks like we are winning the league. Here's the Lagos League table. Ikeja has overtaken Etiosa, though. Ikeja has overtaken Etiosa at the top with 7,189. Etiosa is at 7,149. My Etiosa people, I don't know how you let this happen, though. I beg. Fix up. Now, Lagos Mainland is third with 6,701. And then Alimosho has vaccinated 6,026 people. It's like Mainland has woken up. This is like presidential election where after the other states have been shining, Kano, Kaduna, Borno, Rivers will just show up with huge figures to scatter everything. Because this wasn't happening yesterday, but now the numbers have exploded. Well, what local government are you in? Have you gotten your vaccine? When you call, tell me as well about how vaccination is going in your area. I've started looking into the story of the man who called in yesterday from Ogun State, talking about his own local government area and how there's no single vaccine in the hospitals that he went to. So I've already started making inquiries, and hopefully we're going to solve that particular problem. But today, when you call me, we will be talking about all the great stories I have for you on Hard Facts, starting with the big three. Let's talk about an apprentice dying in custody after his oga accused him of theft. Then let's talk about a returning officer sentenced to 3 years in prison for changing a senatorial election result in Akwa Ibom. And then let's talk about the army killing 11 alleged gunmen in Abia. Now, remember, you can watch us on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube as well, Nigeria Info FM. Talk to us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. And we've got WhatsApp as well. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Today's Thursday. We're going to bring you League of Extraordinary Nigerians, and then we're going to bring you Eyewitness. On today's Big Hard Fact, let's talk about the problems between commercial drivers, the unions, and the Agberos. We're continuing our conversation from last week. Remember, I told you that we would have the chairman of the Lagos House Assembly Committee on Transportation. He was on the show last week, Adewale Temitope. And we had a conversation that I'm going to be replaying for you at 5 o'clock. We'll hear some of what he said, and then I'll take your reactions to that. Let's go deeper into this particular topic. Now, of course, news updates will come your way at the top of every hour, and then we'll give you a chance to win 10,000 naira on just a minute. But let's get started with the Big Three, Lagos. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the Big Three on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
What protections do apprentices and their employers need? Should candidates for whom INEC officials rig an election be prosecuted? Whom did the army shoot at Ariaria Junction? Those are the Big Three. Lagos, let's talk. Our first story is the death of Chinemerem Obu. He was 23 years old. He was an apprentice. His employer, Fidelis Eduka, owns a shop at Trade Fair Market. Eduka said that he checked his books and he found that goods worth 14 million naira were missing. He accused Obu and reported him to the police. The police arrested Obu, and then on Saturday, they declared him dead. The police said that they found him in his cell, hanging by his own clothes. They're calling it a suicide. But some of Obu's family members, as well as the other traders in the market, are accusing the police of torturing Obu to death. Meanwhile, the traders are also saying that Obu was innocent. Some of them are accusing Eduka of making up the charges as an excuse not to settle Obu. According to them, the settlement time was coming. After years of serving Eduka, Obu was supposed to start his own business, and Eduka was supposed to give him the capital. So these other traders are accusing Eduka of lying about the theft to dodge his obligation. In fact, they stormed his store and they destroyed his goods. So we have two issues here, Lagos. We have the issue of whether or not Chinemerem Obu took his own life or whether he was tortured to death. So that's one issue. The second issue is whether he indeed stole from his boss or whether his boss framed him to avoid having to settle him. And I hear that this happens a lot, by the way. We've even talked about it before here on Hard Facts. Bosses making accusations against their apprentices just to drive them away. So those of you who are connected to the apprenticeship system or who, know businesses that use it, or who are connected to the commerce community, tell me how often something like this happens. Also tell me why it happens. I want us to talk about why it happens. How is it so easy for bosses to send their apprentices away after years of service with nothing? How's that easy to do? And then we have to talk about solutions. When we talk about this story, we have to talk about solutions. Is there a way to protect the rights of apprentices both during the service and when it is time for them to go? 0700-993-993-993. Do you work at the trade fair? Do you know these people that I'm talking about? Do you know their story? What's the true story? What do you think is the true story? Our number for women, 01465-7190. 01465-7190. What do you think about this story, even if you don't know the players involved? What do you think about the controversy over suicide versus torture? What do you think happened there? And what do you think about the claims by the other traders, that the boss lied about the theft so that he could avoid settling Chinemerem? Does it happen often? Is there something that can be done to protect apprentices from this sort of thing? 99.3. Hello. Thanks for calling us.
Sandra.
Good to have you on the show.
Quickly, not Obi.
Hello.
Good
welcome.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, your wife. Yeah, Sandra. First of all, I'm glad to announce that I took my COVID vaccine 2 days ago.
Woo-woo.
Easily. You know, I've always said I would take it. Of course, I mean, it was so easy. Up to now, I have not experienced any side effect. I don't even hope to experience anyone anyway. It was nice, I did. And I was issued a card.
Yes.
I was given another appointment, June 22nd.
Yes.
To come back for my second dose. God keep me alive, I will. To the topic proper, I don't know anything about it, but I think I have an idea of something that happened years back.
Okay.
You see, the apprentices you're talking about here, unfortunately for some of them, if they are serving under a boss or someone who is into shady deals and they tend to have known too much, sometimes they choose elimination as a way of not allowing these guys to expose them. And even when they don't want to settle them, these things happen. Happened way back when I was living in Sulere. I remember vividly. So by the way I'm talking about now, I don't know, but that's what I knew about this. And I know it happens. So it's no exception at all. That's my take, Sandra.
Thank you, Chukwuebuka, for calling. 99.3. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, thanks for calling.
Yeah, Sandra, how are you?
I'm good. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I took my COVID vaccine today.
Yes.
And everything went well.
Okay.
It was well arranged. Okay. Everything went well. And since I took it, I have not had anything.
Oh, okay.
No headache, nothing.
Okay.
So I'm okay.
Okay. All right. Well done. Yeah. Where did you take it? Where did you take yours?
At Ojodu Health Center.
And there was no crowd there, huh?
There was crowd, but they were very, very oddly.
Okay. All right. Well done. Congratulations. I'm happy you have.
Thank you. Thank you. So about the issue on ground, about Chinemerem and actually, way back in the early 2000s, when I was working as a sales girl in Idumota, where they sell motorcycle spare parts, things like that are very rampant with our fellow Igbo men. I saw so many happen like that.
Okay.
At the verge of settling the apprentice, something will come up. So we even come to the extent of say they want to rape their wife. The one that has daughters, we say the boy want to rape their daughters. So they will look for one way or the other to just send the boy away empty-handed. After 7 years, 10 years, things like that. So it's very, very common. Very, very common.
Is there a way to protect apprentices from this kind of thing? Because it's not fair now.
Yes, they should sign an undertaking. There should be something binding them.
So till now, there's no binding agreement that you can't do this kind of thing to me or something like that.
Yes, when there's no binding agreement, that is how they take them for granted. That's the problem. And they know these boys, these apprentices, they come in from a very poor family. They don't have anybody to speak for them.
Right.
So they take such things on them.
Right.
What can you do? Nobody to speak for. Things like that. Horrible things.
Right.
The association should look into it.
They have an association? Apprentices have an...
They all have an association. They market people. They all are Igbo markets. They all have their association. They should look into it. Then the apprentices themselves, their parents will be educated. Whenever they are giving out their sons for such
apprenticeship.
things.
Well, thank
They
you very
should
much
bring
for
in a lawyer
calling.
to sign an agreement between them and the man.
All right, then.
That's my take.
Thank you very much for sharing your take with me. 99.3, hello.
Hello?
Thanks for calling. What's your name?
My name is Noye.
Nonya, welcome.
How are you? Sandra Zekosili.
Yes, welcome.
Hey, this Sandra, I like you very well. This is Noye.
Nonya, welcome.
Sandra, yesterday I was listening to you, the way you're talking about this vaccine. I started talking to you now, they strike and they look for whether they do vaccine. Now they see. I want to take, if I see, I will take like this month. I don't need to give me a card. I will go for the next 3 months, like one medicine.
But they say, they say they don't do tricks now. You guys register online first before you go take them.
Yeah, now they tell you, I said the way they talk on me. If I see going to do me like that, I just a headache medicine, make I just go take them. Forget the infection. I don't want to.
Now they talk, if you want to take them, go register. Register for internet, then you go take them.
Okay, I go register for internet.
Register first.
Let's assume in safe. Before I go register for internet, now I can't finish for internet. They are the year say Nigeria only.
No, Nigeria will never do. You never did. I will never ready.
No, the vaccine I go take them. After I say you don't take them, you go take them, yeah?
Okay, no problem.
Concerning the matter, see this particular matter, Sandra, is not a small matter. More just forget. See, it's not. I'm not a joke. This is serious. My brother, our fourth one, he goes start testing. Okay. This is why they tell you they for years. He goes start testing. So as I talk to him, later he just come only one just come out. He tell my brother say, I know work, I know start begin. My brother say, why? What thing happened? He said no, they don't want to start begin. My father asked him, he says no. My father said, okay, since your mind no carrier, no problem. Now later, like 3 years later, he hearing me. He now came to me, say, see mama. I say, why he doesn't want to stay there again? Every night that he's sleeping, he'll be hearing noise. If he stand up and go, before you know, somebody will be pressing him. If you want to, somebody will be pressing him. And now told me another one that anytime those senior then do freedom, before a year, the money will disappear. They will not be productive, they will not be successful. All this has been happening, so he's scared of his life. I don't know what he saw there. I don't know, but what I'm trying to say is that anybody that, like me, if I want to, I prefer I prefer coming to your shop and going home.
Okay.
So this thing is even risky, as most of them are occultic people.
Okay.
You understand me?
Okay.
Most of them, they do occultic people, and if you don't know about them, they will try to kill the person. Say they feel me so.
Okay.
So all these things, even my picking say, I'm not sure where I go. You know, feel learn the when they come out, make no learn work. That's my own. So
thank you,
and the funniest part, if man can't them your way, they feel me so. If the man can't them on you, if you like, make the family go up and down and up, the man will win the case.
Oh, wow.
I tell you, you will win the case.
But how we fit protect these people now, boy? How we fit protect them?
Okay, let's say if now
what we feed do where they no go serve finish. How about our boy finish among with settlement? How we go fit protect them?
To go happen. How make that thing? The government got involved. Now, the government got involved in the sense that if the government are involved in this matter, you see everything will be good. They will not be able to do that because if they try it. And no matter how it won't be, government. I tell government is past ordinary people.
The man jire go, but go on. You just said now that the man has money. So if the man has all that money and then has influence with government, what will happen? What happens?
Your listen is let everybody keep their picking for a house now. Make everybody know their work again. That's my phone and see. Some I forget. No, this is the truth. Let everybody do their own picking for a house because see, if you don't say you're picking one learn work, making them go out, making them go learn the work, they come inside your house. Even the food that they eat there is wrong. All this somehow now.
No, let me talk to Emeka. He's a first-time caller in Ijegamo. Emeka, welcome.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Concerning your topic, my junior brother was a victim of this thing.
Okay.
That was, I think, about 5 years back.
Okay.
I had to the police station to be able to bail him.
Okay.
After serving for 4 years.
Wow.
Then I remember the policeman, one inspector threatening me, the arrest. Luckily, I went with a lawyer because it was a big police station.
Okay.
Yeah. I went with a lawyer. So he called me and my wife. He said, look, if you don't give us, if you want to bail this guy, they are giving us 500,000. And if you don't bring it, I'm going to inject that boy. Once you release it to him, he will die in your house.
Oh, my God. Police said that to you?
Yes. That was a policeman, and he's an inspector. So the lawyer just said, I shouldn't say anything. We just walked out. We have to go to zone 2. When we get to zone 2, we took the intervention of one of the senior officers there who called the office before they took that man out of that case. And we were able to release that guy. They did not even bail him from the police station. We bailed him from court.
So given that you've experienced this thing, Emeka, what do you think could protect people like your brother in the future from experiencing something like this?
The culture, honestly, to be honest with you, that culture of boy house, we are going out of it now. Okay. Most people don't allow their children to go for that boy anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason because this case always come up. Me, myself, I served.
Okay.
I served.
Okay.
I think it was 1985, August 1985.
Okay.
I started my own business in 1992.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember when it was time to settle me, there were issues. You can't believe it. During my time, at least I settled in January 1992. Then August 1991, my boss has to send me home. Do you know the accusation?
What?
That I was respecting his wife.
Oh, wow. This happened as far back as 1992. That's almost 30 years ago.
It's on.
So since almost 30 years ago up until now, the same thing continues to happen.
Yes.
No. There has to be a way around it. There has to be a way to change it.
Yes. And another thing that baffles me is that guy they killed in the police station. How can the police tell us that the guy hangs himself? If you go throughout the whole police station in Nigeria, there is nowhere in this Lagos state, in a cell, you have less than 10 people in a cell. So how can the guy hang himself without somebody calling the police or bringing him down or preventing him from doing that? Because we don't have one single cell per person in Nigeria. That's another angle to it.
Well,
so there is more to the story than the guy is telling us.
Emeka, we are keeping our eye on this story, and the more we know, the more the public will know as well. Thank you very much for calling us. We appreciate it. Patrick has been on the line for a while, but Patrick, unfortunately, we need to take a break. This is Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. You're listening to 3 of the biggest stories of the day. Don't go away.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three
on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Ever asked you for your banking app password or PIN, your card PIN, or the 3 numbers on the back of your card, your pay ID, or answers to your security questions? Do not give it to them. These details are private and highly confidential. They must never be shared. Stay smart. Don't lose your money to scammers. This message is from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Download Kuda on the Play Store or the App Store and open an account to enjoy free banking.
I am Simone Cipriani.
And I'm Claire Press.
You are listening to the Ethical Fashion Podcast.
Get ready for another season of the EFI podcast series.
Change starts at the grassroots level from the collective efforts of people taking.
Premiering next week, and with Africa at its heart, this 12-episode series will explore topics relevant today more than ever.
The systems that we live in are operating with 100% efficiency.
Through the voice of African creatives and leaders. Hosted by Simone Cipriani and Claire Press, the series explores issues driving the conversation around ethical fashion. The discussions featuring African leaders and creatives range from female power and wildlife conservation to African entrepreneurship. Right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and a lecturer is going to jail for 3 years for rigging an election. That's our second story on today's Big Three. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info, and we bring you three of the biggest stories of the day every single day. The name of this lecturer is Peter Obang, and he's a professor of soil science at Unical. Before that, he was at UNIUYO. And back in 2019, he was returning officer for Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District. So he declared the result for that election. Chris Ekpenyong of the PDP defeated the incumbent Godswill Akpabio of the APC. Now, High Court has found Obang guilty of trying to rig the election in favor of Akpabio. They showed that he gave Akpabio 5,000 extra votes from 2 local government areas and subtracted 5,000 from Ekpenyong. At the trial, the prosecution showed the final senatorial district result sheet, which Obang filled and signed, as well as the local government area result sheets. The figures were not the same. Now, under the Electoral Act, Obang was supposed to simply comply and copy the results from the local government sheets, add them up, and that was supposed to be the official results. Now, he claimed in court that he did not copy the sheets, that instead he relied on the returning officers to give him the results orally, which he wrote down. The prosecution showed that this violated the Electoral Act, and now Obang is going to be in jail for 3 years. Now, I want to know your thoughts about this particular story, but I also want to know if you think Obang is the only person who should go to jail in this story. What about the people for whom he rigged the election? What about the other people who signed and certified the results, like the party agents? And this includes the PDP agent, by the way, because the PDP agent signed the result sheet, even though it clearly showed that his own candidate was being cheated. Now, we've heard cases in the past of agents collecting bribes to betray their candidates. In a situation like this, should they also be jailed, or should Obang go to jail alone? Should he go to his cell alone? 0700-993-993-993. You can also share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And we've got Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. We've got a number for our female callers, 01465-7190. 01465-7190. There's Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. Alaba is on the line. Alaba is in Ojo. Alaba, how are you? Good to have you on the show. Alaba, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Yeah, I'm Alaba Lakwevishu from Saboniba in Ojo.
Good to have you on the show.
Sandra, I don't know if you can permit me to talk about that first story.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, Sandra, I think it's very sad. And you ask some first callers about what they can do. But I'm not too satisfied with that of their submission.
Okay.
I think this is part of the responsibility of the Nigerian Labour Congress, the NSC. Are you getting my point?
I'm getting your point.
This is part of their responsibilities. And then you should not forget, most of these casual workers too, you can see the way the Nigerians is being treated. So the Nigerian Labour Congress should also place their flashlight on this kind of issue. You know, I live closer to Alaba. A lot of this kind of stuff is happening at Alaba. Even as I'm speaking, it's happening at Alaba International Market. I think so. The Nigerian Labour Congress, because it's also a working stuff.
It is.
So they should also try to look into that kind of issue. Even the orientation agency should also have
a role here. So you're saying that it shouldn't be as informal as it has been up until now. They should formalize it because they're working.
Let me tell you something. If you said you want to leave it informally, a lot of issue will be coming up. Like somebody that have died, through the process now.
Right.
What will now be the gain of that guy?
Right.
At the end of the day, they will lie. Most of these bodies, they will lie on these guys.
Right.
It's because they want to settle them on certain amount. And the issue of election rigging, I think anybody that name has been rigged, I think what they need to do now is that if you have any, like that lecturer now, I think they should look for the rest of if he has anything to pay, a government to pay for him. I think government should divide into 3. They should give him part of it after his service from the jail. He should give part of one of it. And even Abia, if truly he is culpable, and those people that you mentioned, they should all go to the jail. They should also test of it. Shouldn't be the man only to suffer for it.
All
That's
right.
the information.
Thank you so much, Alaba, for calling us. Emmanuel is in transit. Hello, Emmanuel.
Hi, Joy.
Good to have you on the show. Good to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you. Quickly, on the 2 topics. The very first one, I like the way you split it. There are 2 different issues.
That's right.
One is the issue of police acting on civil cases and arresting people. It's a case of, let me speak broken, who first called police? The win case. That's one.
Okay.
It's an unfortunate thing that has happened, but let's not look at the consequence of what has happened to judge the case. Let's look at, in the first place, why do civil matters go to the police? Okay? So that aside, what I'm trying to say is that somebody doesn't need to die before it's an issue. If you get what I'm saying. The main case is, in the first place, these what's it called, masters, if I may use that word.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're masters.
Yeah. They take a lot of responsibility on themselves.
Okay.
I was privileged to have a number of friends because of where we grew up, the kind of community we grew up in, who were serving under masters.
Okay.
To be honest, these boys do a lot of shady things at the beginning of their time, in the middle of their time, and towards the end. They accumulate a lot of wealth in anticipation of the freedom, if I may use that word.
I see.
And it is peculiar. It's like part of the training. Even the boss or the master probably did it before
to his own master.
To his own master. So it's like how much you cheat me more than the effect. So the master knows that he's being cheated. The boy knows that the master is being knows. So there is always that.
So what we should be talking about. So what we should be talking about is some sort of arrangement that protects both sides.
Yes. And again, unfortunately, if they do the contract thing, the question is, how well do we uphold contracts here in Nigeria? Okay? Then quickly on the other one, because there is no solution. It's been on for a donkey number of years, and it would probably continue. In this era of nobody wants to serve, nobody wants to train, everybody's on the streets. You go there, the master has only one boy, but there are like 200 other people walking side by side the person. Okay, that one is still a topic
happening.
I don't know the solution. I'm not going to provide any solution, but let's look at it 2 ways. And of course, let's also focus on the unfortunate fact that the police always interfere in civil cases, which is totally wrong.
All right, Emmanuel, thank you very much for calling. Anonymous, hello, thank you for calling.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Good to have you on the show. So we've got 2 stories. Which one do you want to talk about?
Okay. I want to talk about the master and the boys issue. I'm not supporting both sides of the people, because some of these boys, I'm somewhere that to watch what some of these boys do.
Okay.
You can't believe that a boy sits serving all the land and build a house in the God's hand. If the man should find out, what do you think that man will do? That's 1. 2. A boy started chasing another Oga's girl, giving the girl higher money than what Oga is giving. That one have to report to the boy's boss. What is your boy doing? What type of boy are you training? The time these boys, the issue there is that whenever they come up, see, if you cheat, you will not go with anything. And then if you finish without cheating and you do this, then you're going to be jailed or it's under most. Because some of these boys, I'm telling you, they are terrible. There's good ones among them, there's no doubt. But it's rare because all of them have open eyes. Their duty is to make sure that even if they are not settled, they will not go empty-handed. So they are there making sure they ransack in any side that they can.
So you're saying we have a situation where everybody is cheating everybody?
Yeah, seriously. Especially if it's reaching time for them to go. Maybe 2 years, 3 years for them to go. These boys will start making savings. Okay, one opened the account and they seen he used.
Oh no, Anonymous, I do hope you can call back. The number for women is 014657190. That's for women only. 014657190. The number for men is 0700-993-993-993. I'll talk to Chukwebuka, then I'll come and take messages on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Chukwebuka is in Shomolu. Hello, Chukwebuka.
Yeah, Sandra.
Thanks for calling.
I'm on the second topic.
Yes, okay.
I'm glad you raised a topic like this, Sandra. Sandra, I love the Western world a lot.
Okay.
You know why?
Why?
Because people will never get away with issues like this. I get irritated. Seriously, when I hear the name Akwa Ibom, I'm serious. The same Akwa Ibom is involved with NDDC issue. The issue of off your mic, I mean, it's still there. Till tomorrow, nothing is being done. And now this is an election fraud again. Somebody is going to jail for someone who is still in government till tomorrow. Sandra, if we have justice in this country and believe in justice in this country, by now, Dr. Godswill Akwa Ibom should not be in government or in service. He should be languishing in jail by now. I tell you, for being mentioned everywhere there's fraud, everywhere there's cheating, everywhere there's manipulation or whatever, he is there. So that young man should be left and not allowed to go to jail. If people he did it for will not face the same charges, and then they too should go to jail. That's my take, Sandra.
Chukwebuka, thank you very much for calling. All right, let me go to Facebook. Well, technically, the prof is not a young man. The prof is, an old man. On WhatsApp, I have a message from, you don't leave your name. Oh, Emmanuel from Surulere. Emmanuel says, Akwa Ibom should be jailed alongside the professor. We've got Chinemerem who sent us a message on WhatsApp and says, the issues between master and employee is a common thing that happens regularly. It happens because there are no legal documents that are signed to ensure that both sides hold on to their ends of the agreement. Sometimes it is taken as if the master is helping the employee, which is false. The solution should be a legal contract signed detailing how much is to be used for settlement, the period that should be served, and there will be punishments for breach of contract by both parties. By so doing, if the master accuses the employee, he should back it up with evidence and take the case to court. Okay. Do you think it's that simple? Do you think it could be that simple? You know what I'm going to do? Next week on Balogun and Broad, next week Wednesday on Balogun and Broad, this is what we'll talk about. We're going to talk about this apprenticeship system. It needs to be talked about. There's so much happening there. It's such a central part of the Igbo culture, the Igbo lifestyle, the Igbo history, but there's a lot of unclear, what's the word I'm looking for now? There's a lot of unclarity, in that sector. So let's take a look at it. Let's see if there's a way to get it to work for everybody involved. My master, my servant, everybody. Let's see another message on WhatsApp. I think everyone involved in this demonic act should be in jail with this satanic lecturer. That's a message from Henry Nikorodu. Henry, thank you very much. Hello, Sandra. To be honest, I see this exercise as some kind of slavery. In my opinion, it's either it be abolished or documented that whatever happens on the verge of settling the apprentice, the person who served for several years, should be given half of his entitlement if he defaults. Otherwise, his whole settlement should be given if nothing happens. Jide, that's actually a very good solution. So if you default, we'll give you half of your settlement. I mean, your whole year, like some people serve for 5 years, some people 3, some people 7. You shouldn't all go down the drain. Kayode says that he's sorry for the INEC man that was jailed for malpractice, but the politicians who caused the rot are going about untouched. Imagine Akwa Ibom, who has been a recurring indices on so many crimes. All right, Kayode, thank you for your message. Hello, Sandra. There should be an association that will fight and protect the interests of apprentices to completely eradicate this menace. Parents should be in a strong agreement before releasing their children. That's a message from James in Shagamu. Well, there is an association. It's called the NLC. You heard one of the callers who called in today and shared that story. One hand cannot clap. The professor and the client should be jailed together. Thank you very much for your message. How can the man accused of rigging in favor of Akwa Ibom without Akwa Ibom not knowing about it? Why will the man be jailed and his principals let off the hook? This makes no sense to me, David says. David, thank you for your message. On the judgment of Akwa Ibom Senator, all others involved in signing should all be jailed for the same duration. All right, Noble. Thank you very much for your message. Ebenezer from Etebwing says the professor should appeal. Why will he accept when Akwa Ibom is out there walking freely? All right. Thank you for your message. If you go by our elections, all the people in government will be in jail. Ororo from Ayobo says. Ororo, thank you for your message. Let me come back to the phone lines. The number for women is 014657190. 014657190. The number for men is 0700-993-993-993. I'll take one call and then I'll take us to our final story on today's Big Three. One final call and then back to our final story on the Big Three. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. What's your name?
My name is Mazi Sunday.
Mazi Sunday, welcome.
First time going on your show. Wow.
I'm glad you got us today.
Sandra.
Mazi, is it possible to wind up because the wind is noisy?
Okay, actually, I'm on the road, right?
Okay.
So, so I want to contribute on the good topic.
Go ahead.
See, Sandra, to be sincere, I myself, I witnessed the same issue talking of that boy and his master.
Oh, so you know the boy?
No, not that I know the boy.
Oh, you've experienced it?
I experienced the same thing. What I'm telling you happened in the early 1985.
Okay.
I served my master with clear conscience.
Okay.
My boss served with clear conscience, going through nothing. He himself was really proud of me. But to believe that a month before my settlement, my master laid an accusation against me that I stole his money. You understand? So, but after all said and done, this man, all that he had to give to me was an agreement of 7 years, but I ended up staying at my mother's place 9 good years.
Wow.
After 9 good years, after 9 years, all that he settled me with was only 100,000 naira.
Hey.
Only 100,000 naira.
Hey, what year was this?
I am telling you the honest truth.
What year?
This thing, I went for the service in the early 1985. Understand? So I finished my service in 1995.
Okay. And how much was how much do people usually get settled with? Because 100,000 in 95 was a lot of money still. Oh.
Sandra, it was not anything. It was not anything.
Okay.
Because I knew some of my colleagues whom their boss also settled with 1 million naira.
Oh.
What we are doing, what we are selling them was we deal in cotton and the sheet material.
Okay.
And my master travels. He's an importer of a state.
Okay.
Understand?
Okay.
So this thing happened to me. I could not do anything with the money. To be sincere. Okay. Coming for the issue of the PDP or whatever, the electoral.
Yes, but before you get there, let me ask you something. As somebody who was in the system, what do you think could have protected you from that kind of thing that your master did?
Well, I just left everything to God.
No. How do we protect the next you? How do we handle things so that the next person like you doesn't experience it?
Okay, Sandra, what I think that we go to jail is that we should just try. Before you can let your boy or maybe your brother or whoever or your nephew or colleague into this boy issue, I think that there's supposed to be an agreement book written down that this is the year that this my boy or my son is going to stay at your place. This is how much we are going to settle him with. And it should not surpass so years. If it is 7 years, let it be 7 years. If it is 10 years, let it be 10 years. Because sometimes they'll tell your mom or your dad that they're going to stay only 7 years. But at the end of the day, you end up spending 9, 10 years. I'm not saying that all the boys are okay. Now, Sandra, just take a look at this matter now. The master said that he is losing 14 million naira.
That's right.
Right. I want to know, haven't he been going to that Facebook since this while?
Okay.
Meaning that I'm not be checking the Facebook. That's what it stands for. Okay. Number 2 again. How much goods does he have in the shop? Okay, the boy did this thing. You realize that the boy did this thing. And he allowed the boy to stay in your place until maybe few months to his own settlement. You now discover this. And thirdly, the police in question should be, they're supposed to go and verify what is the worth of that shop. The worth of that shop at that place there. At Banda. What does the shop worth? What and what are in there? Then, when did this money start getting missing? I don't know if you are getting me, Sandra.
I understand what you're saying, right.
So, this should be the process that the police should have taken. But sometimes our Nigerian police, most of them are good, though. Some of them, once all these masters just give them, oh yeah, see this boy, detain him. You shouldn't bear him until I say so. Along the line, you see the boy. The police will be punishing the boy. They don't want to care. They don't want to care to hear from the boy or from that poor little guy. They don't want to know. They don't want to hear from him or her. They don't want to know. In as much as money has been given to them to detain such a person. You understand? A lot of errors are going on in this our country, Nigeria, which is needed to be corrected. And if it is not corrected, Sandra, I'm telling you, they are going nowhere.
You know the funny thing, thank you very much, sir, for calling. You know the funny thing about this error of a thing. I was listening to Joyce earlier on, and you were calling her, and you were saying, I'd rather be the one who injustice is done to than be the one who does the injustice. And I'm sure a lot of people who have servants called her on that show. I'm sure a lot of masters even called, or people who have helps or other such things. And you look at the life you have with the people who are serving you in some capacity or the other, and you don't see the injustice that you're meting out to them. It's very easy to call a radio station and say, oh, I want to be the one that injustice is done to because our Lord Jesus Christ said, you know. Because if everybody who called into, because, I mean, let's say that for every 10 people who called, 9 said, I would rather be the one an injustice is done to than be the one who is doing an injustice. So I started asking myself as I was driving into work, so who are the people now doing the injustice? If all these people who have called today have said, I'd rather be the one injustice is being done to, you know? And then even if you say, oh, sign an agreement is the way forward, how do we know that that agreement will be obeyed? When I was getting my former apartment where I lived, I signed an agreement with my landlord. And in that agreement, he agreed that he will hold 100,000 naira as caution deposit. And when I was leaving his house, he will give me back the 100,000 naira. I left his house in November last year. Till date, I'm calling them every day. Oga Oji, give me my 100,000. He'll say, please call the caretaker. I will call Shola. Shola, give me my 100,000. Shola will say, oh, you have not gotten the money. You have not gotten the money. This has been going on since November last year. Till this morning, when we called him again, Shola, where is my money? Shola say, hey, you have not gotten the money. So if we all want to be, if we all want to be the ones who are just, who are the unjust ones? You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're going to take a break. After the break, I'll bring you our final story. Our final story is from Abia State. The army is saying that its soldiers killed 11 gunmen who attacked them at Ariaria Junction along the Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway. That story is coming up after this break. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away, Lagos.
My people, how far? See, if any kind person say you want the coded password for your bank app, I be your PIN. Your card PIN, I be the 3 number where they back of your card. Your pay ID, I be the answer for your security question. I beg, don't give them all this information. Them suppose they coded. You no suppose share them with anybody. Make you wise up. No make them scam you. This message now from Kuda Microfinance Bank, the bank of the free. Make you download Kuda for your Play Store or for App Store to open accounts. Make you start to enjoy your banking.
Are you a resident in Lagos? Do you own a business or are you unemployed? Learn how to access and manage resources for your business. Listen to The Portal, on 99.3 Nigeria Info every Saturday from 11 a.m. as we discuss employability, funding, business management, working business strategies, and so on. You will learn from business experts, captains of the industry, and young entrepreneurs. The Portal every Saturday from 11 a.m. Brought to you by 99.3 Nigeria Info in partnership with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Every day we bring you 3 of the biggest stories on Hard Facts. We start the day with these stories. I've told you about the apprentice who was killed in police custody. Police is saying that he committed suicide. I've told you about the professor who's going to jail for rigging an election for Akwa Ibom. And now let me tell you that the army says its soldiers killed 11 gunmen who attacked them at Ariaria Junction along the Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway. The army says they were actually attacked by over 50 gunmen. People in the area are reporting that the shootout lasted for hours. This was on Tuesday. This happened on Tuesday. On Sunday, there was another attack in Ohofia. This was on a police station, and 3 policemen were killed. Now, these are just the last 2 attacks, but in the last few weeks, there seems to have been many small clashes between armed men and the police and the army. Some commentators are suspecting the ESN, the Eastern Security Network, of being behind this. But whoever is behind it, it raises a question about insecurity. Are we seeing the same insecurity that has ravaged the north spreading to the southeast? If we are, the question becomes, how should it be handled? Then there's the question of whether this is insecurity in general or attacks on security agents in particular. And if it is the latter, if it is attacks on security agents in particular, the question is why? Why is this happening? Are there particular reasons why suddenly some people in Abia State or in the southeast in general have decided to start targeting police officers and soldiers? 0700-993-993. What do you think about this news of shootouts between soldiers and gunmen in Abia State? What about the killing of 3 policemen in Ohafia local government area? 014657190. Let me take a look at Twitter. We've got some comments on Twitter. So let's take a look at some of them. This one's from Ndubeze. Ndubeze says, why should I go to jail for helping somebody win an election and the helped person is free? Now, wow. As far as the master and servant story, well, it's dog chop dog. Okay. We've got Preside 1982 who says, Sandra, the master apprenticee trust issue has been going on for quite a long time. I'm worried that if this clouded, informal apprenticeship system is not formalized, it will spell doom for this noble traditional master-apprenticee relationship. It's high time we formalized it legally. All right. More messages coming in. Henry says, Edozie Henry that is, says, I think there should be an agreement between the servants and the master. I knew of a servant that has a house and cars, but some masters can also be evil. Steve O'Ferry says the professor should not be sent to jail alone. He had someone sponsoring that dirty deal. Let the self-acclaimed uncommon transformer of Akwa Ibom, who became the uncommon loser of elections, follow the professor to jail. All right. So many more messages coming in via social media. We've got Armstrong Chooks who says, where in the east are the gunmen located? The army have found it a joyous affair to launch ceaseless attacks on the harmless Igbo sons and daughters. They should move to the north where Boko Haram, killer herdsmen, bandits and Mieti Allah continues to wreak havoc daily. Yet no shots have been fired. Lagos, let's bring you business news and then bring you League of Extraordinary Nigerians. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
And now the business news.
Renewal of registration by
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.